Okay, it's Tim Stubmuffin with another game preview. This time we're talking about Xbox and Microsoft, and this is their Summer Game Fest Xbox Game Showcase. And just like Ubisoft for they had a pre-game show and they had a post-game show. So during the show, we're going to talk about, of course, Halo Infinite, State of Decay 3, Franza, I hope I'm saying that right, Motorsport, The Outer Worlds, Pearl of Gorgon, Grounded, Avoid, Hellblade, Tetris, Fable. And for the post game show, we're going to also visit Bungie Studio and talk about Destiny 2 for a little bit. So then there were a few little technical difficulties. I don't know. They did acknowledge it. I don't know if it was on their side or my side. So forgive me for that. But I still hope you enjoy the show. Like I said, I'm only going to cover a few of the games. You can also um, watch the full video on YouTube. But I just picked, the games that I'm interested in. Of course, I'm interested in Halo Infinite, and I think some of the other games, a lot of players are their favorite as well. So sit back and enjoy.
Hello, everybody. It's Jeff Keighley, and welcome to this special Xbox game showcase and our pre-show here, leading up to the big main showcase that happens in 1 hour at the top of the next hour. Welcome to YouTube Gaming and our exclusive coverage. This obviously is a different year for all of us in 2020, and normally every year I love getting together with everyone around the world to watch all the E3 events, but this year, of course, given where the world's at, we're doing things virtually. Before we get into this, I certainly want to acknowledge everything that is still happening around the world with the COVID pandemic, and certainly hope everyone is safe and feeling okay today and excited about video games, which I think have been a source of comfort for many of us in 2020. So today is really about celebrating games and the future of games and where games are going in the future. This is still a big year for games and that new consoles are launching. And today is all about Xbox and the Xbox Series X, which is coming out this holiday season. Although today is less about hardware and is going to be more about the games. And in our pre-show, we've got a lot of great guests joining us to preview what we expect from Xbox. We also have some world premieres and some great new game stuff to show you guys as well.
The Mjolnir exosuit is now complete. Even though this technology will save humanity in the war to come, I must remind myself, liquid crystal cannot rise on its own. Titanium alloy cannot prevail in the face of extinction. Armor cannot hope. It all means nothing. until you step inside.
Am I dead already? I must be. I mean, this is a punishment, right? Yep, this is death. No! No! No, 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 no! This isn't happening. I'm going to have to make an emergency landing. Hold on, shit. No! No! You can't stand this! No, you...
Breathe.
No! You don't get to tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me anything! We're... Are you even listening?
I count 3 anti-aircraft cannons.
3 what?
You'll be safe here.
Oh, I'll be safe. Safe? I haven't been safe since I found you. I found you, remember? You were out there on your own, and you'd still be out there if it wasn't for me. I thought I was going home.
There won't be a home if we don't stop the Banished.
You keep saying that. We're outgunned, outnumbered. I know I saw condors over there. I'm going to dig through them and find one with the working sleep space drive. And when you're done with this war, we'll get away from here. Far away.
Wait here.
Oh. Let me find.
First, when I get back, we can look. Together.
Okay, big guy.
It's almost like you were taking us back to what we are familiar with. We're on a ring, and we're fighting our old enemy. That's an interesting weapon. Oh, shit. We can shoot through the shield, too?
This is the
What, no scope? can say it's semi-open world, but it's not like a battle royale. So it has some of the old and new weapons. Graphics are impressive, I'd say that. It's more realistic.
The UNSC lost this war months ago. Your people are broken, scattered, hunted, defeated by me. I wish I could tell you it was difficult, but it wasn't. We are one step ahead, always. The ring is already under our control. Soon, the auditorium as well. The Harbinger and the Banished share the same goal. We fight together to honor the will of Atriarchs. But without challenge, I grew weary, lost, alone. But here you now stand. This is my last fight. A true test of legends. Our story will outlive us both. Set a fire in your heart, Spartan. Bare your fangs. Fight hard. Die well.
There you have it.
We hope you enjoyed your first look at Halo Infinite's campaign. I'm incredibly proud of the team at 343, and we're thrilled to share a hint of the epic battles that await you on the next chapter of Master Chief's journey. This is the most ambitious campaign we've ever created at 343. For the first time, players will have the freedom to explore a mysterious new Halo ring that's several times larger than our last two Halo games combined. Halo Infinite has been built from the ground up to take full advantage of Xbox Series X. Bigger battles, epic vistas, more complex visual effects, displayed with 10 times the processing power per pixel of Halo 5. This will be running at a flawless 60 frames per second and will allow us to bring the Halo ring to life in ways that have never been possible before. We look forward to sharing even more about Halo Infinite in the coming month, including the first look at multiplayer. And now, please enjoy a glimpse of what others in the Xbox Game Studios family have been working on.
World premiere. World premiere.
From the furthest reaches of the universe comes the biggest mystery in the galaxy.
An abandoned research facility, and now shady corporate intrigue.
Marvel of the Gorgon asteroid. A sordid stopover, full of salacious secrets and scandalous strangers.
Greetings, attractive patron. You are looking right on today.
With the right pace,
They wanted us to develop a miracle drug.
can put you on the wrong side of a gun. Or sword. Or this thing. Thrills. Danger. Intrigue.
A word of advice before you go, Captain? Trust no one.
What will you find on Gorgon?
This unit cannot be drinks in state.
If you're waiting for the biggest game of the year, then wait for Cyberpunk. But if you're ready for the smallest, we've got you covered. From Obsidian Entertainment, the makers of games that are nothing like this one. This summer, strive together to thrive together. Or just feed your friend to the spiders and go solo.
Check this out.
World premiere.
We have always known war. It forged our empire. Turned heroes into queens and kings. And decimated our foes. Now our oaths are lost, forsaken. And you must face the monsters our sins have borne. Is an oath worth the weight of a crown?
An incredible 3.5 million players have now experienced Senua's story in Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. We're excited to start giving you an insight into what comes next for our Celtic warrior, an experience that we'll be building in Unreal Engine 5 for Xbox Series X and PC. I'm happy to reveal today that Senua's saga will be set in the beautiful country of Iceland. And you can find out more about our location scouting and how we've discovered the history of our setting in a brand new behind-the-scenes development diary, which you can view straight after the show on the Ninja Theory YouTube channel. It's been so touching to see the impact that Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice has had on so many players, and we're incredibly thankful to all of the fans that have been part of Senua's story so far. And we're excited for you to be part of our development journey from here on out.
World premiere.
Something changed, my heart could not contain the miracle of this world and all that it creates. With every passing day, the winds might grow stronger and carry us away, but we will hold on to joy to light the way. The reminder that love does not escape. I'm yours forever. There is no end in sight for us. Nothing could measure the kind of strength inside our hearts. It's all connected. We're all together in this love. Don't you forget it. We're all connected.
Today, you saw 10 world premieres and 22 console launch exclusives. Game Pass members can play every game you have seen today from Xbox Game Studios and all of our partners in the subscription or free to play. This is just a peek at some of the new titles coming to Xbox Series X. And some of the games you already love and some you have yet to play will also be optimized for Xbox Series X. Games like Forza Horizon 4, Gears 5, and Sea of Thieves. You'll get the next-gen upgrades at no additional cost when they launch. You can expect a lineup of over 100 titles for Xbox Series X this holiday season. With Series X and Game Pass, Xbox is the place to play, and you are at the center of everything we do. Now, you may have noticed we didn't get to visit all of our Xbox Game Studios today. That means we'll have more to share later this year. But until then, here's one more thing.
World premiere.
The world is filled with stories of legendary heroes and treacherous villains, of fantastical creatures and wondrous places where nature and magic live in perfect harmony.
Oh.
Not all stories have happy endings. But yours has yet to be written.
That's
There he is. It is Halo shirt. Aaron Greenberg, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to be with you, Jeff. I wish we were in LA at E3 and celebrating, like you guys were saying, letting people get hands-on, but it's just good to have the show done and everything worked, and it's nice to see fans and partners and everyone reacting pretty positively.
Yeah, no, this was a big moment. I know you and the team worked really hard to to get all the games ready for today under these insane conditions to develop these titles. But let's start off with the shirt that you're wearing and Halo Infinite. We got to see a beautiful kind of story piece and then a real demo of the gameplay of Halo Infinite, and definitely looks like the team is kind of going back to the roots of Halo, though adding some new things like the grappling hook. Tell us a bit about what did you guys want to communicate with this demo of Halo? We've obviously seen some trailers before, but this was raw gameplay. What do you hope fans took away from this demo?
Yeah, I mean, I think for many people, whether you're new to the franchise or existing fans, I think we all remember the Halo Combat Evolved, and really, this is a spiritual reboot of that. And so, how do we kind of take the OG Halo and modernize it? And I think what you've seen is the benefit of things like the Slipstream engine, Halo's take on an open and expansive world, seeing additions with things like the grappling hook, and it's all Chief all the time. And I think that I think the team at 343 has done a great job creating the Halo game that I think the world needs right now, and more than anything. And so that's been the focus. We've been anxious to let people see Halo true gameplay, big campaign demo. That's what we opened the show with. Team's working hard, and we're excited to get this in the hands of fans this holiday.
Yeah, we obviously saw, Xbox Series X gameplay on that. One thing that, is unique this time is that this Halo game will, it will work on your current Xbox. It'll work on your PC. Can you maybe explain sort of like what the team is going to be able to do with Series X with that game that will be sort of, take it to the next level beyond sort of it working on the current systems? And I'm sure it's a challenge to make it work across everything, but I know Phil Spencer said it's going to be more PC-like and that it will be optimized for, higher powered machines. Tell us maybe a bit about like when you have those 12 teraflops, what the game is going to be able to do that will really show off Series X.
Yeah, I mean, what you're going to see from our first-party teams is that they're developing these games natively for Xbox Series X. So they're going to first focus on getting the most power, the most performance out of that. So this will take full advantage of all the benefits of Series X. You're right, the 12 teraflops, the instant gaming you get from the SSD, the instant switching. You can see the lighting, a lot of the benefits from the engine. So the more expansive worlds, just tons and tons of benefits there. With that said, we want to create a game that Xbox One fans can also play, that PC gamers can also play. And I think as you've seen what Phil outlined in his Player First post recently, is that we want our fans this holiday to be able to play Halo wherever they want to play it. And whenever they're ready to upgrade to next gen, we will give them the Xbox Series X upgrade of Halo Infinite at no additional cost. By the way, if you're a Game Pass member, you get the game at launch, but we're building this game so that if you get it in Game Pass, you can play it on Xbox One, on the PC, and on Series X, and you never get charged more than once for a game, whether you buy it or get it in the subscription.
One thing that's sort of a silly question, but I'm sure some people will wonder, is now that everything's in Game Pass, people love their like collector's editions and things like that for Halo, the Master Chief helmets and whatnot. How are you guys approaching that stuff if all these things are in Game Pass? Will you still have collector's editions, or how will you handle that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we're working with retail partners around the world. There'll be like special steel books and things like that for people that want that. We know there's a fan that wants to buy the game, have the physical disc, and they want to have that steel book, and they want to have something collectible that they can add to their collections. And always loving fans send me tweets with pictures that they've literally from the original Halo. So we will make that available. We also know for a lot of fans, like maybe they wouldn't buy Halo, but if it's included in their Game Pass subscription, they'll try it. We think they're going to love it. And that makes a better experience for everyone, to have more people in multiplayer, have more people playing Halo. Building a bigger community is good, not just for our internal studios, but also for our third-party partners. So we're going to give people choice in how they play. And of course, we'll still support the physical editions as well.
Awesome. And Chris, studio head, was in there talking about, or head of the game, talking about single player, and multiplayer is obviously going to be a big part of the experience as well. Probably not a ton to share today about that, but the team is obviously kind of focused on both modes in a big way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we really, like you've seen with any big AAA game, if you looked at how we unveiled Gears, last year, like we didn't do it all at once. We're really thoughtful about the right beats. I'd also say this entire show from beginning to end, every person working on the show, every development team on every demo, every asset is all doing this from home. So that's not easy for game development. So I'm just incredibly proud. The team at 343 has done heroics. They're making great progress on the game. What you saw was obviously full playable gameplay of the campaign. We know that's what people want to see first and foremost for Halo, but I've been hands-on with the multiplayer. I've played it along with Phil and other folks. They've got a lot of exciting innovation happening there, and we'll unveil that when the time's right. But today was about campaign and a first look at that open, expansive world, some of the new things like the grappling hook, and it's all Chief all the time, which I think is definitely what fans are looking for.
What people wanted to hear confirmation of. And I saw holiday 2020, so the plan is still that this will launch kind of day and date with Series X for the game?
Yes, our plan is to launch this holiday. We're planning to launch this with Xbox Series X. For folks that don't know, the last time Halo launched with an Xbox was with the original Xbox back in 2001. So, for us, we've been very thoughtful about planning the launch of this generation and every approach, every detail, from all the player first initiatives to having Halo ready to building the world's most powerful console ever made. And so we're feeling really proud about that. And we think we're well positioned for a great holiday for our fans and for our partners.
You talked about, world's most powerful console. You have a lot of other games. The studios group showcase, as Matt Booty said, lots of world premieres and announcements. One that we should talk about at the end there was a nice moment, was a brand new Fable from Playground Games. We didn't get a ton of information out of that teaser about it, but what can you tell us? I mean, Fable is back. We can obviously expect a RPG. It looks like that's more of a sort of a CG piece versus showing the gameplay, but what can you tell us about the new Fable?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we know this is probably at the very top of the list of things we hear from fans. I've heard from fans more than anything is we want Fable. Please make another Fable. And to put the Fable franchise and give it a completely fresh start in the hands of one of the greatest game developers in the world, and also right there in England with Playground Games, is sort of a dream come true. So we're letting them, get a fresh start with the franchise, and really, you can see it's still got the classic, British humor that's really true to the franchise. It's obviously going to be a role-playing game. We've got the best folks in the industry working on it, and today was just the reveal of the game, and we're excited to officially say Fable's coming, and we'll share more when we're ready. But this is the start of that journey.
Yeah, and that wasn't the only RPG that you guys announced. Obsidian also announced Avowed, which is something people are really excited about, a full next-gen RPG from the Obsidian team. Again, a similar kind of teaser, really just announcing the concept of it. Maybe could you talk a bit about between those two? I mean, what makes them, obviously thematically they're different, but are they both kind of similar RPGs, or how are you approaching them in terms of differentiating like the style of RPG that they are?
Yeah, I mean, I think for Obsidian, what you're really seeing is just paying off the benefits of adding them to the Xbox Game Studios team. I'm really proud of what they did with the Outer Worlds. That got nominated even for Game of the Year from the Game Awards. It was great to be able to show a new DLC for that. There's a small team of Obsidian that's created this product called Grounded, survival, open world survival game that fans are kind of loving. But we know, and we've just been quietly smiling and listening, and everyone's like, please, I loved Pillars. I love Obsidian. They're big AAA RPGs. What are they doing next? And that's what today was about, to show it's a true Obsidian RPG. They've got a lot of people working on this. This is going to be a massive AAA game. And at this point, it's about the reveal. We wanted to, less is more, we think, but you can kind of get a sense of the first person view. You get a sense of kind of where they're taking this. But this is a big bet for Obsidian. And it's great that we're being able to give them all the resources to go realize their creative vision with this game. And Obsidian always delivers. And fans that are looking for the next big RPG from Obsidian should be excited about it.
One game that you did show some in-engine footage on was the next Forza, I guess, from Turn 10. Or could you explain what we saw? Because there was obviously beautiful real-time footage. And is that sort of the Forza 8 or where is it next Forza? Or can you explain kind of what we saw there?
Yeah, I mean, the Turn 10 team has 15 years of experience in the motorsport space. I mean, obviously, they have the highest rated, best-selling racing franchise in gaming. And what they're really doing with Forza Motorsport is just completely reimagining what that can be. They want to modernize it. You can see they're bringing things like ray tracing to the Forza Tech engine. They always push the limits of realism and fidelity. And for them to be, they were actually very actively involved in the design of the Xbox Series X. And you can already see an early look at how they're taking full advantage of that. That was an engine. And so we're announcing Forza Motorsport. There is no number on the end. That is intentional because this is a reimagination of what the next generation of Forza Motorsport would look like, that's built from the ground up for the future, from Turn 10, a studio that has 15 years of experience in the motorsport space. And it's a good start, but we'll be definitely showing more in the future, but hopefully fans liked what they saw today.
So that's not a this year game. It's kind of a further out type of thing, but it's new Forza.
Correct. Not this year, but we wanted to unveil it. We want to let people know it's in development and show you it running, show you it with ray tracing, show you kind of the power of Xbox Series X and engine, and then share more when we're ready.
All right. Well, as you said, you definitely unveiled a slate of a lot of first-party titles coming moving forward. And again, as we saw in the briefing, everything coming to Game Pass moving forward, and that'll be kind of the way it's done moving forward, right, Aaron? Everything will be in Game Pass from your group, first party.
Yeah, I mean, this was, to be honest, this is the first time we've ever been able to do a show where we've reached a point with Game Pass where we can say from beginning to end, every game you saw is if you're a Game Pass subscriber, every game you saw is included in your subscription, and that's pretty powerful, And you don't have to look and see, is this one Game Pass, is this one not? Just sit back and enjoy. From Halo to Destiny 2, Beyond Light to Fable to everything in between. If you're a Game Pass member, you're going to get all these titles when they launch. And so that was pretty exciting. It's great to see people kind of say they thought Game Pass was the hero of the show. And that also gave every game like a sense of purpose. So there was a lot of exclusives from our first party teams. Everything past the Bungie title were all console launch exclusives from our third-party partners. So you saw a real focus on exclusive games and a focus on Game Pass as something that we know fans that are invested in the Xbox ecosystem is sort of like, this is our gift to you and all the things that you get as an Xbox fan or a Game Pass member.
A lot of people have also been wondering about Xbox Live and how that's going to relate to Game Pass. There was something online, I think, where it's like the 12-month Xbox Live might not be available or something. Can you explain to people how is that going to work moving forward? Are you phasing out Xbox Live and it'll all become Game Pass, or how will that work for consumers?
I am the games guy, so I manage our first party and third party game stuff. I'm not sure. I'm not actually up to speed on the Xbox.
Yeah,
Live.
I just think I said people are like excited about the Game Pass and they have their Xbox Live, and I think what everyone's saying is they love this one-stop solution, right? It's like, here's what I'm paying, and I'm going to get all these great games and this great experience. So as you said, I'm sure over time it will all solve itself out. But yeah, the fact that there's so many great games in Game Pass, it's really, really such an amazing value. And speaking of Game Pass, one game that was announced today for Game Pass is from a good friend of both you and I, Bungie and Destiny, and joining us now. From the Bungie team, deep in his development bunker at home, is Luke Smith. Luke,
hello.
What's happening?
Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, how we doing?
I'm doing okay. It's a little woolly over here, as you can see. It's very it's a very quarantine situation here in the house. Yeah.
Well, you have a way better quarantine look than I do. You've got the dev quarantine, been hard at work for months look, Luke. That's very impressive.
I think that if I could just summon the entire Bungie team here, like everyone has probably a similar haggard, all hands on deck. It's the way I've described it is the quarantine has really changed the way we develop games, and it's like we're all in the rowboats, just grabbing the oars and trying to like get it going in the same direction. Like we've never made a game this way before. So
no, and I have to say, all these teams, what they've been able to accomplish with development, and you think of voiceover and motion capture and music recording and everything. I mean, it's just really challenging for studios to do this stuff. So yeah, Aaron, hats off to you and the whole Xbox first party group for what you guys were able to pull together for this showcase. I mean, in an amazing number of games with a lot of diversity, as you guys have been saying, both in sort of genre and style and tone across the whole thing. And even the pre-show. I mean, a lot of people were very excited about Balan and some of the other games that you guys have. And you look at, sort of those 2 hours of games, a lot of content and value coming to gamers. So Aaron Greenberg, thanks for joining us. Great to have you with us, and congratulations on a great show. Now Luke's going to give us some Destiny dirt, right?
Oh yeah, let's just go through everything. Let's talk about where it's going to end. Whatever you want, let's do it.
Hey, well, your guys showing gameplay. We're excited about Beyond Light and obviously coming to Game Pass. But I think everyone wants to know more about the game. You talked a bit about development. Look, everyone knows you pushed back the date a little bit to November on it, which I think is understandable given circumstances. But you guys at your event last month, I mean, kind of outlined here's the next 3, right? I mean, you're sort of being very clear with people about the roadmap and the plan. This one, maybe we could talk a bit about Stasis, I guess. I mean, what do you want to share? Because I think everyone knows about it and you've talked about it, but you're keeping it kind of a mysterious in terms of how, Power Set's going to work and whatnot. Is that deliberate, or because you guys are still experimenting, or?
No, so it's a couple of things. There's a deliberate approach that we're taking with how we're thinking about marketing and talking about the game this year. We're keeping the cards a little closer to our vest, in part because it's like the fun of playing video games, the fun of entertainment is some of that, being surprised. We do have a bunch of changes that we're making to the way that players are going to interact with wielding the darkness, and we'll probably get into that a little bit before launch. Like, we always want to get feedback on that. But you talked about that event from 4-6 weeks ago. I time kind of flies here in the quarantine bubble. It's hard to keep track of anything. And what we're trying to do with Destiny is really let everyone out there know, like, this is, Destiny 2 is an awesome game that we are completely committed to. Like, you can see, that Game Pass, how Game Pass fits into this vision of that single evolving world you can play anytime, anywhere with your friends. Like, we want to be everywhere, to quote Ariel, like, we want to be where the people are. We have this awesome global community, and we want to keep growing it. And to close on the thing you pointed out at the top, Jeff, it's we wanted to lay out that Beyond Light is the beginning of this new era, and it's going to continue next year with the Witch Queen and arc that we've been building toward for some time. And of course, we're heading toward, a moment that, we're excited about with Lightfall at the end of this, like, kind of, 3 expansions.
Yeah, that's, a lot of your life to devote to sort of planning out, what you're going to do over the next couple of years. So how you think of it, obviously, from a content perspective and a story, lore, narrative perspective, but I assume also from a gameplay perspective. So something like, Stasis, tell us a bit about that. Is that something that obviously impacts the next 3 in a way, but are you thinking that far ahead of, like, how the gameplay is going to change each year? Yes. Or how do you map it out?
Yeah, so even with something like Stasis, like, we're going to launch kind of a bunch of the player side of the abilities for Stasis this fall, like the encase, freeze, shatter, like that's going to enter Destiny. And then over the course of the rest of the year, we're going to continue to add more. Like, the creatures are going to gain access to it in a way that they won't have it at the start. Like, you're going to fight creatures, obviously wielding it in the beginning, but it's not going to be, it's going to proliferate throughout the game, this ability to freeze, be frozen, etc. And then we look at our overall plan and we think about, right now we're obviously, ideating, early thoughts on what players are going to get to do next. That's a place where, for us, we like to start thinking about it because we're trying to make awesome, fun toys for people who've been building their Guardians for, maybe 1 year, maybe 3 years, or maybe they've been with us the whole time, and it's been since 2014. So we usually start from a place of what's awesome that we can give the player.
Tell us a bit about events and in-game events. You guys experimented with doing something pretty grand. I don't know, was it 2 months ago or whenever it was. Are we going to see more live events in game? I assume that's on the roadmap, and those are really hard to do, and it was awesome that you guys were able to accomplish that. How does that factor into kind of your roadmap for Destiny from a content perspective?
So I think live events like that, like the Almighty event, was an awesome test for us. Like, what we want to do is when we're going to load up and point the guns like that at a target, we want it to be when it can be maximally impactful. Like, I don't think that's the type of thing we would do every season. Like, we certainly aren't a game like Fortnite we're not going to have Travis Scott show up in the game. Like it's just we're different. What we've been talking about doing is how can we make events that bring players together that are uniquely Destiny, and what are those things? And so I think over the coming years we're going to keep evolving that as we go. Like the tech stack's awesome. Like it is, it's a miracle. The tech stack's a miracle, and that we were able to pull it off with everyone kind of working from home. It's just an incredible testament to the team. It was awesome hearing Greenberg mention that, and you mentioned that too. Like it is no one wants to hear from anyone who makes entertainment that it's hard, but everyone who's making entertainment, it's fundamentally challenging in some way that like you never talk about. And then doing it in a completely new context, it's even harder. Like the thing you're doing right now is fucking harder in ways that it's just
Oh yeah, no, you said our teams and like doing this all from home, and we're all making it work. But I think you're right. The audience at home sometimes, even with all these press events, has this expectation of like, Allegra said, like, where was the wow surprise? And it's like sometimes those things were planned, and then that team couldn't get it done, and they're in another part of the world. And I think there's so many games even I know about that were going to be announced this summer that just like are not ready for whatever reason. And it's like you can't blame people because they couldn't get the orchestra together to record that rousing score for the trailer or something like that. So there are a lot of things that I think people have to think about. But I wanted to ask you this before we go, like development, you guys had to push back a couple months. Like do you feel confident now that like you're able to figure it out, just taking a little bit longer? Is that right?
Yeah. The extra time is awesome for us and the team, and we are. I think we're gonna use it to the fullest degree that we can, and it's given us time to work a little harder on things like stasis, and try to get that experience of playing through the Beyond Light campaign to the place that we want it to be, and also do all of it while checking in remotely from VPNs.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's pretty fascinating what you guys have been able to do. Well, we look forward to seeing more as you develop from home there. I'm sure probably have the game right up next to you. Definitely to figure it out. But yeah, I love that you guys have outlined the roadmap. We're excited to learn more about Beyond Light and, of course, the roadmap for Destiny, and love that you guys are showing gameplay, getting people excited, and we know you're going to have an amazing story. We saw Lance Reddick recording in his closet or whatever it was, I think, on Twitter.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? Like we've shipped a bunch of voice actors gear and stuff so they can do it, and they're just able to jump in and do awesome stuff for us. It's tremendous.
On behalf of everyone that put this show together today, I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank Xbox for the great partnership around this show, an awesome pre-show, and an awesome game showcase right here exclusively on YouTube. I want to thank you all for watching. I'm Jeff Keighley. We will see you for the next Summer Game Fest stream. Have a good day.
Okay, very nice. I thought it was pretty good. Enough information there, I would think, to give us a taste of what's to come. And of course, they're going to give us more information as well. Like I said, this is their Xbox, Microsoft, video Microsoft show. I'm just borrowing a few clips of here. I didn't do any gameplay myself, but you can see more of it also online on YouTube, and you can see the full video. Because, like I said, I'm not covering all the games. Just some of the games, and some of the games I know I'll be interested in playing on my channel and sharing with the rest of you guys. So this is it for me. Thanks for watching. I want you guys to take care out there. Please take care. Like you said, a lot of stuff is going on around here. So take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.